Brought to us by actress, writer, and director Katie Aselton, Black Rock follows three childhood friends who are now 30 and have splintered due to some personal conflicts that occurred several years before. They reunite for one more trip to an island located just off the coast of their hometown where they once played as young girls. But as they rekindle their friendship and mend old wounds, the ladies meet a strange trio of ex-soldiers out on a hunting trip. And when things suddenly go wrong, the three friends must fight to survive the night and escape the island before they're all hunted down. Hi, I'm Cinematico Magnifico of amoralcrackpot.com, and welcome to the Nightly Chill. Frustration. If there's one word that can possibly sum up Black Rock, it's frustration. Not because the movie is unwatchable, because it is, but it is frustrating in that, after having watched it all the way through to the end, you will be left with a sense that somebody left out half the damn movie. That said, the best part of the film is easily the dynamic between its three female leads, Abby, Lou, and Sarah, played respectively by Aselton, Lake Bell, and Kate Bosworth. The three are all sensitive, selfish, and absolutely unsure of themselves as they struggle to deal with personal issues before all hell breaks loose. The love between them is every bit as palpable as the tension, anger, and resentment still lingering in the air. And if nothing else, it's a testament to their acting abilities that these women feel as alive and fleshed out as they are, in spite of how weak the material they're working from actually is. Now, this isn't to say that there isn't some quality to be found in the movie aside from its actresses. The story itself feels very Stephen King-ish, in that these characters are all very much people being forced to deal not only with their own issues, but also the horrifying event that organically comes about due to a fine mix of unfortunate circumstances and their failings as people. This leads to a tense situation of life and death played out between two camps of people who've made a lot of mistakes and feel there's no other way out but to kill the others. This isn't a matter of young ladies being hunted down by some monster or menacing lunatic with a grudge against pretty women. These are very much people fighting other people. Unfortunately, these loftier concepts aren't fully realized. Yes, the three women all feel like real friends with real problems. Even the troubled trio of ex-soldiers that they meet on the island seem just as troubled and eager to escape their worries that plague them. But unlike a story from King, where we get to dig into these characters and their backstories and relationships to the point where we feel every sting of pain, guilt, and rage they do, we're left with a lot of half-baked everything. There's a troubled history between the girls, but we're left to fill in all the meatier details with help from the expository dialogue that flows from their mouth whenever the plot slows to a crawl, which is far too often. And when the leads aren't exchanging some naturally wonderful banter and dialogue, they are telling us that they're childhood friends. They are telling us that they've been to the island a long time ago. They are telling us they have issues with each other. They are telling us they have even newer issues back at home. But for all this telling, there's almost zero showing of any of it. And this problem also applies to the trio of soldiers they meet on the island. We're told that the girls are old friends with one man and his older brother. We're told they're ex-military. We're even told they've done some rather shady things to get kicked out of the military. We're even told very clearly that two of these men owe their lives to the third. But again, we never see any of this. Most of the film's all too brief 80 minutes should have been dedicated to developing all six characters further, letting the audience see how troubled they really are in a slow burn before allowing the proverbial shit to hit the fan. Instead, we're left with a film that goes from an introspective story about a group of three sisters and three brothers with very real problems to an incredibly stretched out chase scene. And it's the desire to rush to the horror stuff that not only hurts the emotional side of the story, but also greatly harms the horror stuff by dragging out what should have been a short, tight, and incredibly tense third act. There simply isn't a lot to do on the movie's incredibly small island. In fact, the setting is so small that at one point in the movie, the women are shown running from one side of it to the other in a matter of minutes. And because this part of the story, for some odd reason, takes place over several days, they do this a lot. It's not just boring to see the same scenes play out again and again, it also harms the credibility of their pursuers. When trained soldiers can't find or flush out three untrained women on a small island in a couple of days, the whole thing becomes a bad joke. More so, Aselton's weaknesses as a director are all too apparent once the chaos takes hold. Not only is there little tension or drama once bullets and blood start flying, it all looks terrible. The obligatory final showdown at the end looks like an edited for TV movie, with cutaway after cutaway, reducing what should be R-rated action to fairly dull PG-13 fare. In fact, if it weren't for the occasional F-bomb and breast being thrown around, the film's actual R rating would have proven totally unnecessary. Now, this may be due to budget concerns, as showing cuts and stabs can really up the need for stunt doubles or prosthetics or gimmick props, However, there are smarter and more effective ways to get around this without making it so obvious. Now, all of this being said, Black Rock is a respectable enough sophomore outing for Aselton. It shows she can handle strong characters in drama. It even affords her the chance to display her skillful range as an actress. However, it also shows that while Aselton may have a strong mind for good stories and dialogue, a fast-paced film is not her thing. Instead, she excels at the slow, tense burn that is often missing in modern horror. And if Aselton can focus more on this, she may prove one of the next big things in a genre desperate for fresh blood and fresh styles. In the end, Black Rock, while not well realized, has the makings of something greater. And if you can appreciate the very hard work of everyone involved and the aspirations the film has, you might just be able to overlook its glaring shortcomings long enough to chill with Black Rock. That's gonna do it for us tonight on the Nightly Chill. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and also be sure to leave me any questions, comments, suggestions for future reviews, and maybe even discuss today's movie at greater length. And as always, this video is brought to you in part by our viewers. If you'd like to learn how to support this and other projects, please visit amoralcrackpot.com or check the description below. But until next time, y'all need to make like a tree and get out of here.
Thank you.